The logos of the universe is the forgotten language of creation, written not in words but in frequency. Every thought you hold and every feeling you sustain becomes a living decree in the cosmic field. As you awaken your voice, you will discover that manifestation is not a request, it is an echo. Align with this logos, and reality reshapes itself in the logos of the universe. Introduction. Before there were words, there was the logos, the sacred vibration from which stars were sung into being. The universe does not speak in sentences. It speaks in resonance, in living patterns of light and frequency. And within you burns the memory of this ancient tongue. It is not something you must learn, but something you must remember. You were born fluent in this language. Before doubt clothed your mind, you expressed without hesitation, and reality answered without delay. Like a child who knows without questioning, you once moved in harmony with the unseen currents of creation. To return to this state is not to chant louder or strive harder. It is to become still enough to hear your own eternal voice echoing as the voice of the universe itself. The law of attraction is not persuaded by pleading nor impressed by repetition. It responds to the purity of your frequency. When your inner state whispers scarcity, the field of existence arranges itself accordingly. When your consciousness rests in abundance, the same field blossoms to mirror that truth. There is no waiting, no negotiation, only reflection. Creation unfolds in the same instant that you declare it within. Your thoughts are not fleeting sparks lost in the void. They are threads in the great tapestry of being. Your feelings are not private sensations, but currents moving through the quantum sea of possibility. Each intention you hold is a command issued from the throne of awareness, and the universe, bound by its own eternal law, answers by becoming the shape of your conviction. Mastery, then, is the art of constancy. It is the quiet discipline of dwelling in the frequency of your fulfilled desire before the senses confirm it. You are not reaching outward to grasp something separate from you. You are awakening to the truth that what you seek already vibrates within the infinite field that you are. To remember this is to speak the logos consciously, and to speak it consciously is to create. Before we get into the book, comment "I am ready" to affirm your intention to the universe. Part 1. The Awakening of Voice. Chapter 1. The Whisper and the Echo. Within every vibration lies the power to shape reality itself. Long ago lived Mabel Jo Green, whose laughter carried a peculiar magic. She observed how her spontaneous bursts of joy would part the clouds, as if her mirth conducted an unseen orchestra of weather. Through the simple act of genuine laughter, she demonstrated a fundamental truth. Joy manifests with greater speed and certainty than worry ever could. This revelation mirrors the deeper mechanics of universal law. Your thoughts are not mere electrical impulses confined within your mind. They are resonant frequencies that ripple through the fabric of existence. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, matches these frequencies with unwavering precision. Just as a tuning fork will cause another of the same pitch to vibrate in harmony, your thoughts and words create corresponding vibrations in the field of infinite possibility. Consider the tale of Clarence Boyd, who discovered this truth through a simple evening practice. Each night, with quiet certainty, he would write, "I am surrounded by kindness." He didn't plead or bargain with fate. Instead, he stated this truth as naturally as one might observe the color of the sky. Within days, the most unlikely transformation occurred. The notoriously stern bus driver on his morning route began greeting him with the warmth of an old friend. The universe had matched his frequency of expected kindness with its physical equivalent. This wisdom reveals the subtle art of manifestation. It isn't about forcing change through sheer will, but about aligning your inner frequency with what you wish to experience. When you speak of abundance with gratitude rather than need, when you express joy instead of lamenting its absence, you create a resonance that the universe must, by its very nature, reflect back to you. Your words are more than mere expressions. They are instruments of creation. By choosing to voice what you wish to expand, rather than what you wish to eliminate, you participate in the ancient dance of manifestation. Each word spoken with certainty ripples through the quantum field, rearranging the very atoms of your reality. Sacred practice. As you prepare for sleep tonight, choose one sentence that embodies your desired reality. Speak it aloud with the serene confidence of one stating an established fact. Feel how the universe leans in to listen, ready to mirror back the frequency of your faith-filled words. Chapter 2. The Tongue of Light. In the vast symphony of existence, your words conduct the orchestra of manifestation. Each thought you release carries a specific frequency, drawing to you experiences that match its vibration. Yet many walk through life unaware of this sacred power, speaking without consciousness of the creative force their words command. Take Millie Ray Carter, who once wore her troubles like precious gems, displaying them in endless conversation. Her words wove a tapestry of difficulties, each complaint strengthening the very challenges she wished to overcome. But awakening dawned one morning, bringing with it the wisdom that her words were seeds planted in the fertile soil of universal law. As she transformed her speech into expressions of gratitude, her life transformed in kind, reflecting back the light she had begun to speak into existence. This wisdom echoes through the ages. Your tongue holds creative voltage. It translates the electricity of emotion into vibrations that shape the very substance of your experience. When you speak, you are not merely describing your reality. You are instructing the universal field in the art of your becoming. Elmer Tate discovered this truth in his own way. Rather than cursing the discord in his workplace, he began declaring peace over every meeting and interaction. His words became instruments of transformation, and within a single week, the atmosphere shifted. Where tension once ruled, harmony emerged. His story teaches us that words are not passive observers of reality, but active architects of experience. The universal field receives your words as blueprints for manifestation. It does not judge between complaints and celebrations. It simply matches the frequency you offer. Your speech patterns are direct instructions to the creative force that shapes your life circumstances. The practice. This evening, approach your mirror with intention. In the sacred space between you and your reflection, speak 3 truths that radiate brightness and kindness. Let your words carry the warmth of certainty, for the universe is recording your tone as the template for tomorrow's manifestations. This simple ritual aligns your speech with the frequency of creation itself. Chapter 3. The Conversation of Feeling. Through the veil of time, Ancient wisdom whispers that your emotions are the true language of creation. Words may shape reality, but feelings give them their power. This truth unfolds through the story of Dottie Lou Marks, whose kitchen became a sacred laboratory of manifestation. Each morning, as dawn painted the sky, Dottie Lou would enter her kitchen in contemplative silence. Her pies, renowned throughout the valley, carried something indefinable, a quality that transcended mere ingredients. One day, she uncovered the mystery. It wasn't her technique or her choice of fruits that made her creations extraordinary, but the joy she infused into every motion. Her quiet humming, filled with contentment, transformed ordinary ingredients into something magical. The sweetness people tasted wasn't just sugar, it was her happiness made manifest. This revelation mirrors a fundamental truth of the universe. Your emotional state is the foundation of all creation. When you speak of dreams while carrying doubt, your words fall like empty shells. But when you infuse your intentions with genuine feeling, they become living seeds that take root in reality. Consider Jed Harrison's journey. His initial attempts to manifest a promotion were filled with mental affirmations but tinged with underlying unworthiness. His words said, "success," but his heart whispered, "not ready." Only when he allowed himself to embody the feeling of being worthy, to truly know his value, did the universe respond. The promotion arrived not because his words changed, but because his inner frequency finally aligned with his desire. You see, the universe responds not to what you say, but to what you radiate. Your emotional signature becomes the mold into which experience flows. When you master the art of feeling your desired reality before it manifests, you unlock the true power of creation. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and choose one dream close to your heart. Now, rather than merely thinking about it, allow yourself to sink into the feeling of its fulfillment. Feel it as though it exists now, as tangible as the chair beneath you. Let this feeling fill every cell of your body. From this space of emotional completion, speak softly to the universe, not with the voice of wanting, but with the voice of having. Let your words carry the vibration of gratitude for what already is, rather than longing for what might be. Hold this feeling for several minutes, knowing that in this moment, you're broadcasting the exact frequency that will draw your desire into form. Chapter 4. The Promise of Yes. The emotional frequency you carry shapes reality more powerfully than any words you speak. Just as Dottie Lou's joy became the secret ingredient in her pies, your feelings are the invisible force that brings your desires into form. When you align your emotions with your intentions, you tap into the universe's own creative essence. Consider the wisdom revealed through Jed Harrison's journey. His initial attempts to manifest a promotion fell flat because he spoke from a place of lack. Only when he allowed himself to feel the worthiness he sought did the universe respond. This teaches us that manifestation flows not from the mind alone, but from the heart's knowing. Your feelings are not responses to reality. They are the architects of it. Each emotion you hold becomes a magnetic force, drawing experiences that match its vibration. When you understand this truth, you begin to treat your emotional state as sacred ground where dreams take root. The ancient ones knew this secret well. They understood that ritual without feeling was merely empty gesture. Their ceremonies were powerful, because they infused each action with deep emotional resonance. You too possess this ability to transform reality through the alchemy of feeling. This wisdom comes alive in the story of Freddie Mae Collins, who discovered that time itself bends to emotional certainty. She grew weary of placing her desires in some distant future, always asking when. Instead, she began to feel her dreams as present reality, affirming now with unwavering conviction. The universe, which knows only the eternal present, responded to her emotional alignment rather than her calendar's schedule. Hazel Dean Foster applied this same principle to financial abundance. Rather than focusing on her empty wallet, she spoke to the abundance she knew was already there, feeling genuine gratitude for this invisible wealth. Soon enough, her emotional certainty manifested as actual deposits, proving that what we feel as real becomes real. Practice sacred present moment alignment. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and choose one desire that lives in your heart. Rather than yearning for it as a future possibility, feel it as your present reality. Let gratitude fill you for this blessing that already exists in the infinite field of potential. Speak to it as you would speak to something already in your possession, with calm certainty and deep appreciation. Allow your emotions to align with this truth, knowing that the universe always matches the feeling tone you offer. Chapter 5. The Language of Images. Within the depths of your being lies a sacred gallery where every image you hold becomes a seed of creation. Like Rosie Bell Ward, who painted hearts in clouds and drew love into her life, you possess the ability to sketch your desires into existence through the canvas of consciousness. Vision speaks a language more ancient than words. When you close your eyes and paint pictures in your mind, you communicate directly with the creative force that shapes worlds. Each detail you imagine sends ripples through the fabric of reality, like fingers touching still water. The universe responds not to the volume of your voice, but to the clarity of your inner sight. Think of Clyde O'Neill, whose garden bloomed against nature's timing. His success wasn't born from forcing or fighting against winter's hold, but from holding steady the image of flourishing flowers in his mind. The warmth that allowed his garden to blossom didn't come from the sun alone. It emerged from the warmth of his unwavering vision. Your imagination is not mere fantasy. It is the first language of manifestation. When you picture something vividly, you speak in the universe's native tongue. Each scene you envision with feeling becomes a blueprint that reality follows. This is why daydreams touched with emotion carry more power than mechanical visualization. The key lies not in straining to see, but in allowing your inner eye to open naturally. When you envision your desires, let them unfold as easily as memories. Feel the textures, hear the sounds, breathe in the sense of your imagined reality. The more senses you engage, the more compelling your creative conversation becomes. Remember, you are not attempting to convince the universe of anything. Rather, you are aligning your inner vision with what already exists in potential form. Like an artist revealing the statue within the marble, your imagination simply unveils what waits to emerge. Ancient practice of vision. Find a quiet moment and settle into a comfortable position. Close your eyes and allow one cherished scene from your desired future to arise naturally in your mind. Watch it unfold as if viewing a beloved memory. Add color, sound, and feeling until you find yourself smiling spontaneously. Hold this vision until your heart feels full and content, knowing that what you see within has already begun its journey into form. Chapter 6. The Breath of Intention. In the gentle rise and fall of your breath lies a power older than mountains. Ruby Jean Abbott discovered this truth through her own transformation. Where once her sighs carried the weight of discontent into the world, she learned that each breath could become a blessing, a seed of possibility planted in the fertile soil of existence. Your breath is not merely air exchanging in your lungs. It is the primal language of life itself. Every time you inhale, you draw in the same force that ignites stars. With each exhale, you participate in the eternal dance of creation. The universe listens not just to your words, but to the very rhythm of your being. Consider how Marvin Dale Price found his way back to vitality. His healing began not with medicine, but with mindful breathing. Each thank you breathed into existence carried the frequency of wellness, and his body, that magnificent constellation of intelligent cells, responded with natural wisdom. His story teaches us that gratitude, when married to breath, becomes a healing force. The quantum field, that invisible ocean of possibility, responds to every signal you send. Each breath is a brushstroke on the canvas of reality. When you breathe with intention, you speak in the universe's native tongue. This is not mysticism, but natural law. The same law that turns seeds into forests and thoughts into things. Your lungs are cosmic translators, converting your intentions into the language of manifestation. Every breath can carry the codes of your desires. Every exhale can whisper your truth into the fabric of existence. The air around you is not empty space, but a living medium, waiting to be shaped by your conscious breath. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you can breathe freely. Let your awareness settle into the natural rhythm of your breath. Now, with each inhale, draw in pure possibility. With each exhale, release one gentle affirmation into the air. Feel the words dissolving into the atmosphere, knowing that the entire sky participates in this holy conversation. Continue this practice until you sense your intention merging with the breath of life itself. Chapter 7. The Mirror of Thought. Long ago, in a bustling marketplace, there lived a merchant named Nancy Pearl Dixon. Each morning she would stand before her mirror, rehearsing a litany of self-criticisms, how her goods weren't fine enough, her prices not competitive enough, her skills not sharp enough. And each day, as if by some mystical clockwork, these very doubts manifested as real obstacles. Customers turned away, deals fell through, opportunities vanished like morning mist. Then one dawn, as she watched a flower unfold its petals to greet the sun, wisdom bloomed within her heart. She realized that her inner dialogue was not mere commentary, but creation itself. With deliberate care, she began replacing each criticism with words of encouragement. "I am becoming more skilled each day," she would say. "My business grows in perfect timing. Abundance flows to me naturally." As her inner voice shifted, so too did her outer reality. Customers began to linger, sales flourished, and opportunities appeared as if summoned by her newfound faith. Your thoughts are not passive observers of your life. They are active architects of your reality. Every word you speak to yourself plants a seed in the fertile soil of consciousness. When you water these seeds with repeated attention, they grow into the very experiences you live. This is not metaphor, but natural law, as consistent as gravity itself. Byron Lee Woods understood this principle when facing seemingly insurmountable challenges. Instead of dwelling on obstacles, he began declaring with quiet certainty, "Everything supports me." At first, nothing appeared to change, but gradually, as though the universe was learning to speak his language, help emerged from unexpected sources. A stranger offered crucial advice. A competitor became an ally. A setback revealed a better path forward. The universe operates like an infinite echo chamber. It returns to you the very frequency you emit. When you speak to yourself with kindness, life responds with kindness. When you declare abundance, abundance seeks you out. When you affirm support, support manifests. Your inner dialogue is not private conversation but universal broadcast. Each thought you think ripples outward, touching the quantum field that shapes all matter. You are not simply describing your reality, you are instructing it. Ancient practice. Throughout your day, become aware of the words you speak to yourself. When you catch a harsh thought arising, pause, take a breath. Then consciously transform that thought into one of kindness and possibility. Feel how this shift changes not just your mood, but the very atmosphere around you. The universe adjusts its response in real time, matching your new vibration with precise accuracy. For example, when the thought, "I always struggle with this," appears, reshape it into, "I am learning and growing stronger." When "I'm not good enough" surfaces, transmute it to, "I am unfolding into my full potential." Watch how reality reshapes itself to match your renewed self-talk. In this practice lies the key to conscious creation. Your inner dialogue is not mere commentary, it is the very language of manifestation. Chapter 8. The Momentum of Belief. In the depths of every moment, a mirror stands between your thoughts and reality. The reflection you see in your circumstances is not random. It is the precise echo of your inner dialogue. This truth reveals itself through the story of Lois Ann Keller, who yearned for miracles to transform her life. At first, she scattered her wishes like seeds in the wind, hoping some would take root. But when situations didn't shift immediately, her faith would waver, and she'd seek a new miracle to pursue. The universe, in its perfect wisdom, showed her that belief must outlast inconvenience. True faith is not a fleeting visitor, but a permanent resident of the heart. It stands unwavering through storms of doubt and deserts of delay. What appears as patience is actually the quiet power of sustained belief. Luther Ben Hawkins embodied this principle when he held the vision of his dream house. Each sunrise, he would sit in stillness and see every detail: the warm wooden floors, the sunlit windows, the peaceful garden. Even when his bank account seemed to mock his aspirations, even when others questioned his persistence, he maintained this sacred practice. He didn't allow temporary circumstances to dim the brilliance of his vision. Day by day, his unwavering belief accumulated momentum in the universal field. Small coincidences began to appear: a chance meeting with a realtor, an unexpected inheritance, a property that matched his vision becoming available at precisely the right moment. The universe had been orchestrating these elements all along, responding to his consistent signal. This law never fails. Sustained harmony with your desire carries more power than occasional bursts of hope. The field of infinite possibilities responds not to the intensity of your wishes, but to the steadiness of your vibration. When you hold your vision with the same dedication that the sun rises each morning, the universe has no choice but to align reality with your belief. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Choose one affirmation that resonates deeply with your heart's desire. For 7 consecutive breaths, speak this truth softly but with conviction. Let each breath carry the same certainty, the same peaceful knowing. This rhythmic repetition trains the universal field to recognize and respond to your frequency. The power lies not in the words themselves, but in the steady pulse of your belief. Chapter 9. The Frequency of Gratitude. Along the ancient paths of manifestation lies a truth as simple as it is powerful. Gratitude is not a response to abundance, but its very source. This wisdom unveils itself through Betty Sue Harmon's sacred practice with her gratitude jar. Unlike others who sought material wealth, Betty Sue filled her jar with heartfelt notes of appreciation for the invisible companions she sensed walking beside her. The gentle nudges of intuition, the unexpected synchronicities, the quiet moments of peace. Each evening, she would write these intimate acknowledgments. "Thank you for the birdsong that lifted my spirit," or "I am grateful for the stranger's smile that reminded me of connection." She understood that gratitude is not merely politeness, but a profound spiritual law. When you say "thank you," you are declaring, "I have received." And this declaration opens channels for greater blessings to flow. The universe responds most generously to those who recognize its gifts before they fully materialize. This is not wishful thinking, but the operation of cosmic law. Every "thank you" whispered to the void creates ripples in the field of infinite possibility, drawing more experiences that match that frequency of appreciation. Melvin Roy Carter discovered this principle through an inspired practice. He began writing thank you letters to blessings that had not yet appeared in his physical reality. "Thank you for the perfect job opportunity," he would write, even while still employed elsewhere. "I am grateful for the wonderful new friendships entering my life," he penned during solitary evenings. What followed was not mere coincidence, but divine orchestration. Opportunities appeared as if summoned by his gratitude. New connections formed naturally, as though his appreciation had magnetized them into being. The universe simply matched the energy of his thanks, proving that gratitude is not just a reaction to good fortune. It is the very frequency that attracts it. Ancient practice. As twilight embraces the day, select one ordinary object or experience in your immediate surroundings. Begin to whisper your genuine appreciation for its presence in your life. Watch as your attention transforms the commonplace into the sacred. Continue until you feel the object or experience glowing with new significance in your awareness. This practice reveals that gratitude is not found in things themselves, but in the light of recognition you shine upon them. Chapter 10. The Wordless Prayer. Along a quiet country road, Edna Grace Turner discovered one of the universe's most precious secrets. After losing her voice to laryngitis for several weeks, she learned that manifestation requires no sound at all. In the stillness of her forced silence, her wishes began materializing with startling speed, far more quickly than when she had spent hours repeating affirmations aloud. At first, She worried her inability to speak would disconnect her from the universal flow. Yet as the days passed, she noticed something remarkable. Without the distraction of verbal expression, her intentions grew clearer and stronger. Her pure feeling states, unfiltered by words, seemed to reach the universe more directly. A smile carried more creative power than 1,000 spoken requests. A moment of genuine appreciation attracted more blessings than lengthy prayers. This truth extends beyond temporary silence. The universe responds not to volume, but to vibration. Your thoughts and feelings create ripples in the cosmic field, whether voiced aloud or held in peaceful knowing. Speech is merely one way the logos, the creative principle of the universe, expresses through you. The deeper language is energetic resonance. Chester Paul Ridley's experience illuminates this principle further. For years, he diligently practiced speaking affirmations, often forcing himself to maintain rigid routines of positive declarations. Though well-intentioned, this approach left him feeling drained and disconnected. Everything changed when he discovered the power of silent alignment. Instead of compelling himself to speak specific phrases at set times, Chester began sitting in quiet awareness, allowing his being to naturally attune to the frequency of his desires. He stopped trying to convince the universe and simply became one with his intentions. In that sacred stillness, manifestation became effortless. His outer world began reflecting his inner harmony without struggle or strain. The teaching reveals itself. The most powerful statement you can make is wordless alignment with your good. When you rest in the quiet, knowing that all is well, you speak volumes to the universe. Your silent certainty becomes a magnetic force, drawing your desires into form through the law of resonance. The practice is simple, yet profound. Find a peaceful moment to sit in complete stillness. Let your breath become soft and natural. Rather than forming thoughts or words, allow gratitude to arise as pure feeling. Feel appreciation humming in your cells. Notice how this wavelength of thankfulness needs no voice to be heard by the universe. In this sacred silence, you are speaking the original language of creation itself. Through stillness, you remember that you are not separate from the universal mind, trying to communicate across a distance. You are that mind expressing itself in human form. Your silent knowing is enough. Trust that even in the spaces between words, the universe understands perfectly what you wish to create. Part 2. The Dance of Energy. Chapter 11. The Secret Vibration. In a small garden at the edge of town, Georgia Lee Morrison discovered a truth as old as the universe itself. Her roses, those delicate manifestations of beauty, responded not just to water and sunlight, but to the invisible vibrations of music. When she played Mozart near her garden, the blooms grew fuller, their colors more vibrant, as if dancing to frequencies only they could fully comprehend. This revelation opens a gateway to understanding the deeper mechanics of manifestation. Everything in existence, from the smallest flower to the vastness of galaxies, responds to vibration. Your emotions, thoughts, and spoken words create frequencies that ripple through the quantum field, conducting the orchestra of your reality. The universe itself is music made manifest. Each prayer, each declaration of faith, each moment of gratitude adds its note to the cosmic symphony. When you speak with conviction, you become the conductor of this divine orchestra, directing energy through the precise frequencies of your consciousness. Wilbur J. Klein embodied this wisdom when facing a period of intense uncertainty. Rather than letting fear compose his future, he began singing his affirmations each morning. He transformed "I am safe" from a whispered hope into a melodious declaration. Soon his anxiety dissolved into laughter, replaced by an unshakable sense of security. His voice had literally tuned his reality to a higher frequency. Your emotional state creates vibrations more powerful than any spoken word. Joy resonates at frequencies that attract more reasons for celebration. Peace emanates waves that smooth the waters of circumstance. Love broadcasts harmonies that call forth its reflection in countless forms. You are not merely speaking to the universe, you are conducting it. Each thought sends ripples through the field of infinite possibility. Every feeling adjusts the cosmic tuning fork. When you align your internal vibration with what you wish to manifest, you create a resonance that the universe must match. The ancient mystics understood this. They used chants and sacred sounds to alter consciousness and manifest change. They knew that vibration precedes creation, that frequency shapes form. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes and begin to hum softly, any tone that feels natural and pleasing. As you continue this gentle sound, visualize your next desired experience with crystal clarity. Feel the vibration of your humming spreading through your body, carrying your intention into the quantum field. Let your humming become a bridge between your vision and its manifestation. Continue for several minutes, knowing that your frequency is tuning the universal orchestra to play the symphony of your becoming. Chapter 12. The Power of Allowing. Every thought, every feeling, every intention carries its own unique vibration, a signature frequency that ripples through the fabric of existence. Just as Georgia Lee Morrison's roses responded to the harmonious waves of classical music, your own energetic presence orchestrates the symphony of your reality. The ancient masters understood that force creates resistance, while allowance opens pathways. Clarice Ruth Yates exemplified this wisdom when she finally released her iron grip on manifestation. After months of rigid affirmations and structured visualization sessions, she found herself depleted, her desires seemingly further away than ever. It was only when exhaustion forced her to surrender that the universe revealed its gentle nature. In the silence of her surrender, opportunities began flowing effortlessly. The job she had struggled to manifest appeared through an unexpected phone call. The relationship she had yearned for blossomed naturally from a chance encounter. Her release of control became the very key that unlocked her desires. This truth echoes through the story of Abraham Knox, who spent years marking calendars with manifestation deadlines. He created elaborate timelines for his success, believing that precise planning would command the universe's cooperation. Yet his breakthrough arrived only when he released his attachment to time itself. Knox discovered that the universe operates on its own divine schedule. When he finally stopped demanding specific dates for his achievements, his energy shifted from resistance to receptivity. Within weeks, his business flourished in ways his careful plans had never imagined possible. The law reveals itself. Ease attracts, while tension repels. When you release the need to control every detail, you align with the natural flow of universal energy. This is not passive waiting, but active allowing. a state of peaceful expectancy that magnetizes your good. Think of a river flowing to the ocean. It doesn't force its path. It follows the natural contours of the land. Sometimes it moves swiftly, sometimes it pools quietly, but it never stops its journey. Your manifestations work the same way. They find their perfect path when you allow them to flow naturally. The universe responds not to your effort, but to your energetic state. When you ease into trust, you broadcast a frequency that attracts rather than pursues. This is the subtle art of allowing, the practice of holding your desires lightly while maintaining unwavering faith in their arrival. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you can breathe freely. Let your shoulders relax and your breath find its natural rhythm. With gentle awareness, speak these words. I allow goodness to find me. Feel how these words create space within you, dissolving tension and resistance. Let the relief spread through your body like a warm wave, knowing that in this moment of release, you are most powerfully aligned with your desires. Chapter 13. The Sacred Number. In the hidden language of the universe, there exists a sacred duality between acceptance and refusal. Hattie Lou Brown discovered this truth through her journey from perpetual agreement to mindful discernment. Like many before her, she believed that saying yes to everything would somehow curry favor with the cosmic forces, bringing more abundance into her life. Yet the universe speaks in frequencies of authenticity, not in the desperate harmonics of people-pleasing. Each time Hattie said yes when her spirit whispered no, she created static in her manifesting signal. Her energy became scattered, diluted across commitments that drained rather than nourished her soul. The turning point came when exhaustion forced her hand. After one particularly draining commitment, she found herself unable to maintain her usual pattern of acquiescence. In that moment of raw honesty, she declined an invitation that felt misaligned with her path. Rather than the catastrophe she feared, this act of self-respect brought immediate clarity to her life. The universal law reveals itself. Boundaries are not barriers to abundance, but rather focusing lenses for manifestation. When you honor your truth through mindful refusal, you simultaneously declare your worthiness for what truly resonates with your highest good. Arnold Keith Dane embodied this principle when faced with a tempting but imbalanced business partnership. Though scarcity thoughts urged him to accept, he maintained allegiance to his inner knowing and declined. Within weeks, synchronicity brought forth a collaborator whose vision and values perfectly matched his own. The universe had recognized his self-worth and responded in kind. Your no becomes powerful when aligned with inner truth. It acts as a tuning fork, clarifying the frequency of your desires. Each boundary you set with grace and conviction becomes a declaration to the universe. I am worthy of alignment. I trust in perfect timing. I honor the wisdom of discernment. Sacred practice. Find a quiet moment and sit in peaceful contemplation. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, I trust the natural flow of life. What belongs with me remains. What doesn't departs in grace. I am safe in my truth. Let this affirmation settle into your being, knowing that the universe always supports authentic choices. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The Magnetic Heart. A traveler once visited a wise hermit who lived in a valley known for its flowers. He noticed that while other gardens struggled against the harsh mountain winds, the hermit's blooms thrived effortlessly. "What words do you whisper to make them grow so strong?" asked the traveler. The hermit smiled and said, "I do not speak to them at all. I love them." The subtle art of manifestation reveals itself through such simple wisdom. Words alone are empty vessels until filled with the nectar of genuine feeling. This truth became clear to Darlene Joy Pitts, who diligently recited her daily affirmations like clockwork, yet saw little change in her circumstances. Her words were technically perfect, her practice consistent, but something essential was missing. Then one morning, while watching the sunrise, she felt an overwhelming surge of appreciation for life itself. In that moment, her usual affirmations transformed, not in content, but in quality. Rather than mechanical repetition, each word carried the warmth of her heart's genuine gratitude. Within days, the very circumstances she had been affirming began materializing with surprising ease. The heart generates an electromagnetic field far more powerful than the brain's. When you align your words with this field through authentic feeling, you create a resonance that the universe cannot help but match. This is not mere theory, but demonstrable physics. Love literally changes the frequency of your communication with the infinite. Ernest Wade. Riley unwittingly proved this principle in action. After months of tension with his neighbor, he decided to try something different. Instead of rehearsing grievances, he began sending thoughts of genuine appreciation toward his neighbor's house each morning. He recalled the times his neighbor had kept an eye on his property while he was away, choosing to focus on past kindnesses rather than recent conflicts. Ernest didn't speak a word, didn't confront, didn't even try to change the situation. He simply held his neighbor in a field of loving thought. Days later, that same neighbor appeared at his door with fresh baked bread and a warm smile, as if responding to an unspoken invitation to peace. This is the law at work. Love accelerates manifestation because it aligns you with the universe's natural frequency. When you infuse your intentions with heartfelt emotion, you're no longer pushing against reality. You're dancing with it. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and bring someone to mind, perhaps even someone who challenges you. Send them a silent thank you from your heart, allowing genuine appreciation to flow without words. Trust that this unseen transmission creates ripples of harmony, far beyond your knowing. The universe always confirms what love affirms. Chapter 15. The Seed of Imagination. In a small village among ancient hills, a weaver sat at her loom each dawn, closing her eyes before touching the threads. When asked why, she explained, "I see the pattern complete in my mind before my hands begin. The tapestry merely follows what is already finished in my heart." This wisdom echoes through the ages. What you see with clarity in your mind's eye shapes the canvas of your reality. Flora May Burton understood this principle intuitively. Each morning, before opening her shop downtown, she would stand quietly in her kitchen, eyes closed, imagining herself walking through the doorway of her dream business. She felt the brass handle cool against her palm, heard the gentle chime of the bell above, and breathed in the imagined scent of success. She held this vision with such consistency that the universe had no choice but to respond. Within months, a for lease sign appeared on the very building she had pictured in her daily visualizations. The space matched her mental image so precisely that passers-by often remarked it seemed designed specifically for her, and in truth it was, through the powerful lens of her focused imagination. Imagination is not mere fantasy. It is the blueprint from which reality builds. When you picture an outcome with emotional clarity, you are not dreaming. You are planting seeds in the fertile soil of possibility. Every detail you add to your mental image becomes a specification the universe works to fulfill. Silas Grant Horne discovered this truth during the storm season in his coastal town. While others anxiously tracked weather patterns, Silas spent time each day visualizing peaceful skies and gentle winds. He didn't just see it. He felt the calm in his bones, tasted the sweet aftermath of soft rain rather than destructive downpours. That season, while neighboring areas faced nature's fury, his town experienced unusually mild weather. The storms seemed to gentle themselves as they approached, as if responding to the atmosphere of tranquility he had already established in his mind. The universe cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one. Both register as patterns in the quantum field. When you hold an image with unwavering clarity, you are not hoping for an outcome. You are programming it into the fabric of reality itself. This is why visualization practiced with emotional intensity becomes so powerful. It's not wishful thinking, but active creation. Ancient practice. Settle into a quiet space and bring to mind your next desired outcome. See it not as a future possibility, but as a present reality. Notice every detail, the colors, sounds, textures, and most importantly, the feelings it evokes. Allow a gentle smile to play across your lips as you hold this vision, for the smile is your body's way of telling the universe, yes, this is already mine. Let this image become as clear as a cherished memory, knowing that what you see within must manifest without, by universal law. Chapter 16. The Echo of Kindness. In an ancient marketplace, a merchant kept a peculiar custom. Each morning he would place a gold coin beneath a random vendor's stall before dawn. He never revealed himself as the giver, yet his own shop flourished beyond measure. When asked about his success, he would smile and say, "What flows outward must flow back." The universe operates in cycles of giving and receiving, like the endless dance of ocean tides. Every act of generosity creates a ripple in the infinite field, returning multiplied to its source. This truth manifests clearly in the experience of Ivy Nell Hopkins, whose simple kindness to a stranger set in motion forces beyond her knowing. When her wallet returned with additional money, she witnessed the law of circulation in action. Your generosity signals to the universe that you trust in abundance. Each genuine act of giving affirms that you dwell in a reality of plenty, not scarcity. This vibrational statement attracts more opportunities for abundance to flow through you. Wallace Fred Boone understood this principle intuitively. By tipping with genuine joy, he wasn't merely giving money. He was broadcasting a frequency of abundance. His business growth followed naturally, for the universe always matches the energy we emanate. His open-handed happiness told the cosmic law that he was ready to receive more. The power lies not in the size of the giving, but in the feeling behind it. A small act done with pure intention carries more creative force than grand gestures made from obligation. The universe responds to authenticity, not amount. A woman discovered a bird with a broken wing. Rather than seeking praise or recognition, she quietly tended to it each day, speaking gentle words of healing. When the bird finally took flight, she found her own spirit soaring as well, and her life filled with unexpected blessings. Your kindness need not be witnessed to work wonders. The universe records every sincere thought of goodwill, every quiet act of compassion. These invisible offerings shape the substance of your tomorrow. Practice. Find a peaceful moment today. Close your eyes and choose someone, known or unknown to you, to receive your blessing. Without speaking aloud, send them pure thoughts of well-being and joy. Feel the warmth of this blessing in your own heart as you give it. Notice how this silent generosity creates a glow within your chest. This is the echo of universal law, acknowledging your gift. Chapter 17. The Reality of Words. In a small valley town lived a weaver known for her peculiar habit of speaking to her threads. Each morning she would whisper strength to the warp and beauty to the weft. Those who purchased her textiles claimed they lasted longer and held brighter colors than any others. What she understood was that words themselves are threads in the fabric of existence. Words carry more than meaning. They emit frequencies that structure your experience. Each phrase you speak sends ripples through the quantum field, arranging particles to match your proclamations. This is not metaphor, but mechanics of manifestation. The universe responds to your vocabulary with precise literalness. When you declare yourself always running late, time itself adjusts to fulfill your statement. Proclaim abundance, and channels of prosperity clear. The law operates with unwavering accuracy. Carrie Ann Douglas lived this truth in reverse until wisdom dawned. Her casual jokes about being unlucky became cosmic instructions, faithfully executed by universal forces. Each time she laughed about her misfortune, she reinforced that frequency until mishaps became her constant companions. The moment she revised her self-talk, replacing unlucky with blessed, her reality began its gradual transformation. Within weeks, small fortunes appeared where obstacles once stood. The universe had simply updated its programming to match her new verbal code. Timothy Earl Rogers stumbled upon this principle through playful experimentation. After reading about synchronicity, he began introducing himself as a synchronicity magnet at every opportunity. Within days, meaningful coincidences multiplied around him. Chance meetings led to opportunities, random numbers held significance, and solutions appeared precisely when needed. His words had literally magnetized his desired experience. Your own words are quietly shaping your tomorrows. Each term you regularly use becomes a brush painting your future. The universe honors your speech patterns as commands for reality creation. When you describe yourself or your circumstances, you are programming the field of infinite possibility. Practice. Select one word that embodies your highest vision, perhaps abundance, harmony, or joy. Sit quietly and repeat this word gently until you feel its vibration awakening in your chest. Let its resonance fill your awareness until the word glows with living energy. This is not mere repetition, but the act of charging the quantum field with your chosen frequency. Trust that as you release this word into the universal ether, it begins its work of attracting its physical equivalent. Chapter 18. The Tide of Patience. In a mountain village there lived a woman named Lucille Fay Barton who watched her garden each morning, counting the days until seeds would sprout. With each passing sunrise that revealed bare soil, her heart grew heavier. She began to doubt the very seeds she had planted with such care. Perhaps they were never meant to grow, she whispered to the quiet earth. Time flows not as a rigid stream, but as a sacred spiral of becoming. When you plant a seed of intention in the fertile soil of consciousness, its growth follows natural law. Just as no amount of worry makes a flower bloom faster, no amount of anxiety hastens manifestation. The universe operates through perfect timing, not the mechanical ticking of clocks, but the organic rhythm of alignment. Your role is not to force the blossom, but to maintain the conditions that support growth. Each moment of patient trust waters the seed of your desire. Each breath of calm expectancy provides the perfect temperature for spiritual germination. When you resist the urge to dig up your seeds to check their progress, you honor the invisible process of creation. Percy Neil Hampton understood this wisdom when facing a career transition. Instead of anxiously tracking each application's status, he spent his mornings in gratitude for his current blessings. He tended to his skills, nurtured his connections, and trusted the timing. His peaceful expectancy created space for opportunity to emerge naturally. Within weeks, an unexpected position, far better than those he had pursued, found him through a chance encounter. Your desires are already germinating in the quantum field. Like seeds beneath the soil, they grow according to natural law, not human schedules. Patience is not passive waiting, but active trust. When you maintain steady faith, regardless of visible progress, you stabilize the very frequency that attracts your good. Practice. Find a quiet moment and bring to mind one desire still in formation. Rather than questioning its arrival, smile gently and whisper, "Thank you for the perfect unfolding of this blessing. I trust divine timing completely." Let this gratitude fill you with peaceful certainty, knowing that what is meant for you is already in motion. Chapter 19. The Gift of Doubt. In a mountain village, a young weaver named Eunice K. Waters sat at her loom each dawn, her fingers hesitating over the threads. While others saw her pauses as weakness, she learned to listen to these moments of uncertainty. When doubt whispered, "Will this pattern work?" she would respond by weaving even more intricate designs. Her finest tapestries emerged not from blind confidence, but from questions that refined her vision. The dance between certainty and doubt creates a deeper harmony than unwavering faith alone. Each question that arises serves as an invitation to clarify your desires with greater precision. When you embrace uncertainty as a refining fire rather than an enemy, it transforms into a powerful ally in manifestation. Your doubts are not failures of faith, but opportunities for stronger alignment. They reveal the places where your vision seeks greater definition. In questioning, you engage more fully with the creative process, allowing the universe to respond with increased clarity. The art lies not in banishing doubt, but in transforming its energy into focused intention. Each moment of uncertainty carries within it the seed of stronger conviction. By welcoming these questions, you allow them to polish your desires until they shine with unmistakable clarity. Floyd Ross Denton, a merchant known for his cautious nature, discovered an unusual approach to his daily trade. Instead of letting skepticism paralyze his decisions, he began to ask himself, "What if everything goes perfectly right?" This simple shift transformed his doubts into doorways of possibility. His most successful ventures bloomed from questions that opened his mind to unexpected opportunities. Like Floyd, you can transmute doubt's heavy metal into gold. When uncertainty knocks, welcome it as a wise teacher, helping you refine your understanding. Let each question lead you deeper into the heart of what you truly desire. Sacred practice. Whenever doubt surfaces, pause and acknowledge its presence without resistance. Then, gently redirect its energy with these empowering questions. What if this delay is preparing something even better than I imagined? What if my uncertainty is pointing toward an even clearer vision? What if everything is unfolding in perfect divine order? Let each question open a window to greater possibility, transforming doubt into a ladder that leads to stronger faith. Chapter 20. The Infinite Conversation. In the depths of silence between thoughts, a profound truth awaits your recognition. Your relationship with the universe never pauses. It flows as an eternal conversation. Every whispered hope sets in motion waves that return bearing gifts of clarity. Pearl June Sanders discovered this wisdom during her morning walks. She had spent years shouting her prayers into what felt like an empty sky, until she learned to listen in the spaces between her words. What she once mistook for silence was actually pregnant with response. A bird's song carrying the exact message she needed, a chance encounter offering unexpected direction, or a quiet knowing that arose from within. The universe speaks in the language of subtle synchronicity. Its answers often arrive wearing simple disguises: a sudden inspiration while washing dishes, an overheard conversation that perfectly addresses your private question, or a persistent thought that gently nudges you toward your highest good. These are not coincidences, but continuations of your own spiritual dialogue. Milton Joe Hayes embodied this understanding when he stopped forcing solutions and began trusting the whispers of intuition. During his darkest hour of financial uncertainty, instead of panicking, he remained still enough to receive guidance. A creative business idea emerged not from anxious planning, but from peaceful receptivity. The very next morning, a chance meeting with an old friend provided the exact resources needed to bring his vision to life. This reflects an eternal principle. The universe's responses flow most freely to those who master the art of receptive listening. Your prayers do not vanish into void. They initiate a conversation that continues through multiple channels of divine response. Every sincere question carries its answer within its energy field, waiting to be recognized by an attentive heart. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Sit comfortably and allow your breath to find its natural rhythm. Rather than speaking your desires, simply rest in alert stillness. Notice the subtle impressions, feelings, and insights that arise. Trust that the universe is already responding through the gentle movements of your own awareness. This practice of receptive silence opens the channels through which divine guidance flows most clearly. Part 3. The Mastery of Alignment. Chapter 21. The Courage to Receive. In a small mountain village, Nora Beth Ellis tended her garden with such care that neighbors often brought her fresh-cut flowers. Yet each time they offered these gifts, she would shake her head and insist they keep them for themselves. "Oh, I couldn't possibly," she would say, or, "You need these more than I do." What she failed to understand was that each polite refusal placed a small stone in the stream of abundance flowing toward her. The universe operates through cycles of giving and receiving. When you decline a blessing, you tell the cosmic forces that you are not ready for more. Like a closed flower that cannot drink the morning dew, a heart that refuses gifts cannot fully bloom. This truth revealed itself to Nora Beth one autumn morning when an elderly woman stopped to admire her garden. The woman held out a handful of rare seeds, explaining they had been passed down through generations. As Nora Beth began her usual refusal, she caught herself. Something in the woman's eyes helped her recognize that accepting the seeds with grace would honor both giver and gift. That simple act of receiving opened a channel of unexpected abundance. Her garden flourished beyond imagination, drawing visitors from miles around. Franklin Boyd Tate understood this principle naturally. When his business struggled, friends offered connections and opportunities. Instead of pride keeping him isolated, he accepted each gesture with genuine thankfulness. His willingness to receive created a circuit of energy. Soon his enterprise grew strong enough that he could help others in return. The cosmic law remains constant. Receiving completes the circle of abundance. Each time you accept a compliment, a gift, or assistance with grace, you declare to the universe, "Yes, I am worthy of blessings." This affirmation strengthens your resonance with prosperity's frequency. Think of a flowing river. It cannot nourish the land if the soil remains sealed against its waters. Similarly, your ability to receive determines how much abundance can flow into your life. Every genuine offer of help, every kind word, every unexpected blessing serves as the universe's attempt to expand your capacity for receiving. Sacred practice. Today, let any act of generosity land fully in your heart as proof of your worth. When someone offers help, a gift, or a kind word, take a deep breath and simply say, "Thank you." Feel the blessing settle into your being without deflection or diminishment. Notice how accepting gratefully creates space for more abundance to flow. Chapter 22. The Symphony of Intention. A gentle breeze stirred the wind chimes as Tilda Rose Hammond sat in her morning meditation space. Each dawn, before the world fully woke, she would close her eyes and orchestrate her coming hours with the precision of a master conductor. She understood that thoughts, like musical notes, create harmonies that shape reality's dance. Your thoughts are not mere whispers in the void. They are the architect's blueprints from which the universe builds your experiences. When you direct your mental energy with purpose, you engage the cosmic law that transforms possibility into manifestation. Orville MacBenson discovered this truth during a period of chaos in his merchant shop. Each evening would find him exhausted from responding to endless disruptions and setbacks, until one morning he paused before opening his doors and clearly envisioned his day unfolding with grace. He felt the rhythm of success in his bones and held that vibration steady. To his amazement, that single morning of focused intention accomplished more than his previous week of scattered efforts. The lesson shimmers clear. Mastery flows from conscious awareness maintained with gentle persistence. Like a skilled musician who knows each note intimately, you must become familiar with the frequencies of your desires. Your intentions are the conductor's baton, orchestrating the symphony of circumstances that surround you. The universe responds not to the volume of your thoughts, but to their clarity and coherence. When you begin each day by setting your internal tone, you create a template that reality naturally follows. This is not about controlling every moment, but about establishing the underlying harmony that attracts aligned experiences. Ancient practice. As the sun rises, find a quiet space where you can speak aloud the melody of your day. Close your eyes and feel the resonance of your words as they ripple outward into the infinite field of possibility. Describe the flow and feeling of your desired experience with calm certainty. Let your voice carry the confidence of one who knows that intention, clearly held, becomes the magnet that draws circumstances into perfect arrangement. Chapter 23. The Weight of Words. In a small cafe where laughter once mingled with complaints, Sadie Lou Harmon gathered daily with friends to share stories of misfortune. Her clever quips about empty bank accounts and missed opportunities drew knowing chuckles, creating bonds forged in shared struggle. Yet as months passed, she noticed an unsettling pattern. The very circumstances she joked about seemed to linger like stubborn shadows. Words carry vibrations that ripple through the quantum field, each syllable leaving an imprint on the fabric of creation. What you speak in jest, the universe receives as instruction. Your casual conversations are seeds planted in fertile cosmic soil, growing into the garden of your tomorrow. When you understand this principle, you recognize that every word uttered is a brushstroke on the canvas of your reality. The universe does not distinguish between serious declarations and playful banter. It simply mirrors back the energetic frequency you broadcast. Edgar Dean Collins grasped this truth during a period of repeated setbacks. Instead of labeling his challenges as burdens, he began introducing them differently. Here's today's growth opportunity, or another chance to expand my wisdom. This subtle shift in language transformed his experience. Where obstacles once multiplied, solutions began emerging with surprising ease. The law remains constant. Your words are contracts with creation, whether whispered in solitude or shared in social circles. Each phrase you speak sends ripples through the field of infinite possibility, attracting circumstances that match its tone. When you call yourself unlucky, even in jest, you're signing an agreement with limitation. When you speak of lack, even humorously, you're programming your reality for scarcity. This doesn't mean you must maintain artificial positivity. Rather, it invites you to become conscious of the creative power in your everyday speech. Notice how often you speak against your desires, even in casual moments. Observe the words you choose when describing your life to others. Are you narrating the story you wish to live? The universe operates through absolute law. It cannot help but manifest the predominant frequencies you transmit. Your words are more than social currency. They are the very substance from which your future is fashioned. Ancient practice. As you prepare for sleep tonight, recall one significant phrase you spoke during the day. Hold it gently in your awareness. If it requires transformation, speak its higher counterpart with calm certainty. Feel the truth of this new declaration settling into the field of infinite possibility. Let your last conscious thoughts be words that paint the reality you choose to experience. Chapter 24. The Radiance of Faith. In the depths of night, Lila June Atwood's smile radiated like a lighthouse through storm clouds. Even as unpaid bills gathered and opportunities seemed to slip away, she maintained an unwavering certainty that beneath the surface chaos, a divine order was at work. Her neighbors whispered that such optimism bordered on delusion, yet Lila June understood a truth most overlook. Faith itself generates the frequency of fulfillment. Through every setback, she spoke to the universe with the confidence of one who sees beyond temporary shadows. This, too, serves a greater purpose, became her constant refrain, not as wishful thinking but as recognition of an underlying perfection. Her words carried the vibration of trust rather than desperation, and slowly the universe began to mirror her certainty. The principle reveals itself. When you maintain steady faith regardless of appearances, you emit a creative force that shapes circumstances. This is not blind positivity, but rather attunement to the highest possibility present in each moment. The universe responds not to what you hope for, but to the energetic signature you consistently broadcast. Vernon Clay Potter demonstrated this law in action when he took over management of a struggling manufacturing plant. While others saw only declining numbers and mounting challenges, he spoke of growth and innovation with such conviction that his vision began materializing in surprising ways. New contracts appeared, skilled workers applied, and efficiency improved, not through force, but through the magnetic power of unshakable faith. His story illuminates how sustaining positive expectation creates a field of possibility that reality rushes to fill. The universe aligns with those who align with trust. Your faith becomes the template that matter follows. Practice. Find a quiet moment and settle into stillness. Light an inner smile. Not forced cheerfulness, but gentle recognition of the perfect order underlying all things. From this space of serene knowing, speak these words with quiet authority. All is working beautifully. Let this truth settle around you like golden dust, knowing that your trust itself is a creative force reshaping reality's flow. Chapter 25. The Circle of Giving. In a quiet neighborhood where porches whispered stories of kindness, Opal Ray Jennings discovered a truth as sweet as her famous peach cobbler. Each morning, she baked extra loaves and pies, wrapping them in simple brown paper, and leaving them on doorsteps like gifts from the universe itself. What began as a gesture of goodwill revealed itself as a gateway to infinite supply. As her ingredients dwindled, unexpected abundance flowed in. A neighbor's garden surplus, bulk sales at the market, or forgotten preserves discovered in her cellar. The more she gave, the more her pantry seemed to maintain a perfect equilibrium, neither empty nor overflowing, but always sufficient. Through this experience, she glimpsed the universe's elegant mathematics. Giving and receiving form one continuous circle. You see, the universe abhors stagnation. Energy must flow like a river. Both giving and receiving create the current that carries abundance. When you dam the stream through fear of lack or reluctance to share, you interrupt the very circulation that sustains prosperity. But when you give with joy, you declare to the universe, I trust in endless supply. Amos Reed Turner embodied this wisdom through his practice of joyful tithing. Each time he shared his resources, he accompanied the act with genuine laughter, treating giving as celebration rather than obligation. Soon, opportunity began appearing through the most unexpected channels. A chance conversation at a bus stop leading to a business partnership, a wrong number becoming a valuable connection, a delayed flight resulting in a life-changing encounter. His experience unveils a fundamental truth. Generosity is not measured in quantity, but in the spirit behind the giving. When you give from abundance rather than sacrifice, you transmit a frequency that magnetizes more good to your life. Each act of sharing becomes a declaration of faith in the universe's unlimited supply. This law operates with mathematical precision, not as cosmic bargaining, but as energetic resonance. Your generous thoughts and actions ripple outward, creating a field that attracts similar frequencies. The universe mirrors your trust in abundance by orchestrating circumstances that confirm your faith. Practice. Today, find one small way to offer joy to another, whether through a kind word, a helpful action, or simply holding a blessing in your thoughts for someone. As you give, feel the warmth of circulation restoring the natural flow of abundance in your life. Know that this simple act aligns you with the universe's endless capacity for giving and receiving. Chapter 26. The Art of Letting Go. In a village where worry often wore deep grooves in people's foreheads, Effie Mae Reynolds held her dreams like a bird clutched too tightly. Each morning she would unfold her plans, studying them until the paper grew thin at the creases. Her fingers traced deadlines and strategies until they became a maze of anxiety rather than a map to success. One twilight, as purple shadows softened the edges of her world, exhaustion finally taught her what determination could not. Her hands, weary from grasping, simply opened. The papers scattered like autumn leaves in a gentle breeze. In that moment of surrender, she felt a curious lightness replace the familiar weight of control. Within days, the very opportunities she had strained to create began appearing with natural ease. A chance meeting led to a partnership she hadn't imagined possible. A wrong turn guided her to the perfect location. The universe, it seemed, had been waiting for her to loosen her grip before delivering its gifts. This sacred law of release found another witness in Ralph Glenn Wyatt. For years, he had carried an old grudge like a stone in his pocket, reaching for it whenever life grew still. The memory of betrayal had become a familiar companion, until one morning he recognized how it dimmed the light in his eyes. In a moment of grace, he set down this burden by the river's edge. As water flowed past unchanging stones, peace found him with the swiftness of a bird returning to its favorite branch. His shoulders relaxed for the first time in years, and within hours, harmony began restoring relationships he thought forever broken. These stories illuminate an eternal truth. The universe operates through trust, not force. When you release your grip on outcomes, you allow the infinite intelligence that turns seeds into flowers to work unhindered in your life. Letting go is not surrender to defeat, but surrender to a higher orchestration. The practice of sacred release. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes and bring to mind something you have been trying to control. Feel the tension this creates in your body. Now, imagine your next exhale carrying this attachment away like mist in morning sunlight. With each breath, picture your hands opening, releasing your grasp on how things should be. Notice the spaciousness that remains. This is where miracles enter. Smile gently, knowing that what is truly yours cannot miss you when you trust in the perfect timing of universal law. Chapter 27. The Universe Within. A wise teacher once shared the tale of Vera Lee Daniels, who spent countless nights searching the heavens for answers. Each evening, she would climb to her rooftop, chart in hand, seeking cosmic permission for her dreams. The stars, she believed, held the key to her destiny. Yet despite her diligent sky-watching, her life remained unchanged until the night a gentle rain forced her indoors. In the quiet of her room, without the distraction of celestial lights, she discovered a profound truth. The entire universe she sought existed within her own being. The constellation she needed had always pulsed behind her heart, each star a point of power waiting to be acknowledged. This revelation transforms our understanding of manifestation. You need not look outward for validation or signs. The external world mirrors the internal. It cannot help but reflect the frequency you emanate. When you align with your inner knowing, the outer circumstances naturally reorganize to match this harmony. Consider how Clyde Owen Pierce stumbled upon this wisdom during his morning meditation practice. For years he had pushed against circumstances, trying to bend reality to his will. One dawn, as he sat in silence, he felt his desired outcomes not as distant possibilities, but as present truths radiating from his core. In that moment of recognition, he understood. He was not reaching for something outside himself, but allowing what already existed within to express itself in form. The universe speaks first through internal channels. Before any external shift occurs, you will feel it as a quiet certainty in your solar plexus, a knowing that transcends logic. This inner alignment precedes physical manifestation, just as lightning forms in clouds before illuminating the sky. Your consciousness is the broadcasting station of reality. Each thought, each feeling, each moment of awareness sends ripples through the quantum field. You are not separate from the cosmic dance, but rather its choreographer, conducting energy through the instrument of your being. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space and settle into stillness. Close your eyes and sense the vast expanse existing behind your ribs. Feel how your breath moves through inner galaxies of possibility. With each inhale, acknowledge your unity with the infinite. With each exhale, release the need to search outside yourself. Let grateful awareness fill your inner cosmos until you recognize you are the universe experiencing itself through human form. Chapter 28. The Certainty of Joy. In the heart of a small coastal town, Daisy Ellen Moore discovered a truth as old as sunrise. Joy precedes manifestation. Each morning, before circumstances could suggest her mood, she chose delight as her first language. She didn't wait for good news to smile. She smiled to summon good news. Soon, she noticed how events began rearranging themselves, as if her happiness held magnetic force. You see, joy is not merely a response to life's blessings. It is the signal that grants permission for those blessings to arrive. When you choose happiness ahead of evidence, you speak in the universe's native tongue. Your delight becomes the blueprint that reality follows. Leonard Frank Monroe validated this principle through an accidental experiment. During a particularly challenging business quarter, he started sharing jokes with his team each morning. What began as a coping mechanism revealed itself as creative power. Deals that had stalled suddenly gained momentum. Resistant clients became receptive, and opportunities appeared with surprising ease. He discovered that every genuine laugh acted as a decree of possibility, dissolving the illusion of delay. This is because happiness operates as prophetic speech. When you express joy before your desired outcome manifests, you demonstrate trust in the universal order. Your laughter sends ripples through the quantum field, preparing pathways for manifestation to follow. Think of joy as light itself. It doesn't ask permission to shine. It simply illuminates. When you choose happiness, regardless of current conditions, you align with the universe's natural state of abundance. Your joy becomes a tuning fork, adjusting circumstances to match its frequency. The wisdom lies in understanding that happiness is not earned, it is claimed. You need not wait for external validation to feel worthy of joy. By choosing delight first, you demonstrate mastery over the creative process. Your happiness becomes both the seed and the water that nourishes manifestation. Ancient practice. Pause now and bring to mind something that genuinely amused you, perhaps a child's innocent observation or a moment of unexpected grace. Feel how that memory lightens your energy. From this space of natural delight, speak aloud an affirmation that carries the same buoyant quality. Let your words dance with the authenticity of that joy, knowing that happy declarations carry swift creative power. The universe cannot help but echo back the frequency of your genuine delight. Chapter 29. The Voice of Oneness. In a bustling marketplace, Hannah Lou Briggs made a discovery that would transform her understanding of manifestation. She had long sorted experiences into columns of fortune and misfortune until she recognized that such division weakened her creative power. The moment she began addressing all circumstances as beloved family members, her world shifted into harmonious alignment. When you segment reality into desirable and undesirable pieces, you fracture the very force through which manifestation flows. Your creative energy becomes diluted, scattered across artificial boundaries that exist only in perception. The universal mind knows no such separation. It operates as one continuous field of infinite potential. Samuel Clyde Foster embodied this wisdom during his daily commute. Rather than viewing traffic as an adversary, he chose to see each car as part of a grand choreography. "We are all dancing together," he would say, smiling at brake lights ahead. This shift in perception didn't just ease his stress. It began mysteriously smoothing his journey. Lanes opened precisely when needed. Timing lights turned green as he approached, and alternative routes revealed themselves naturally. The lesson crystallizes. Unity amplifies creative force. When you speak to life as one family, you access the full power of the universal field. Division creates resistance. Wholeness allows flow. Your words carry greater creative voltage when they emerge from a consciousness of oneness. Consider how a symphony creates beauty, not through isolated notes, but through their unified expression. Similarly, your creative power reaches its peak when you recognize the underlying unity of all experience. Every person, circumstance, and event participates in the same cosmic dance. Speaking from unity consciousness transforms ordinary moments into portals of power. Traffic becomes choreography. Challenges become invitations. Delays become synchronized timing. This is not mere positive thinking. It is aligning with the fundamental nature of reality itself. Sacred practice. Move through your day blessing everyone you encounter as equal expressions of universal consciousness. Silently acknowledge the divine spark within each person, saying inwardly, I recognize the light in you as one with my own. Notice how this practice dissolves separation and amplifies your manifesting power. Chapter 30. The Infinite Yes. The universal mind knows no such separation. It operates as one continuous field of infinite potential. When you embrace this truth, you align with the natural state of creation itself. Every thought, every word becomes charged with the power of wholeness rather than fragmentation. Polly Jane Rivers discovered this sacred principle through her unique approach to prayer. Instead of pleading or petitioning, she concluded each spiritual conversation with celebration, as though her desires had already manifested. Her gratitude flowed not from hope but from certainty, transforming her daily experience into an endless festival of appreciation. She understood that prayer was not about convincing the universe, but about aligning with its eternal yes. This truth stands revealed. The universe never utters the word no. It simply mirrors back the vibration you offer. When you speak with the tone of completion, reality has no choice but to conform to your certainty. It is not about changing the universe's mind. It is about matching its perpetual affirmation. Dennis Ray Cooper embodied this wisdom by greeting each sunrise as living proof that all prayers receive answers. He understood that existence itself is one continuous yes, flowing through every moment. His morning ritual wasn't about starting the day. It was about acknowledging the infinite stream of abundance already in motion. The universe responds not to what you request, but to what you radiate. When your words carry the frequency of fulfillment rather than yearning, you speak the native language of creation. This is not about positive thinking. It is about aligning with the fundamental nature of reality itself. Ancient practice. As this day draws to a close, find a quiet moment and settle into stillness. Let your breath become soft and regular. Now, offer thanks for everything that has touched your life today, both the visible and invisible, the understood and the mysterious. Include what appears as challenge alongside what feels like blessing. Acknowledge it all as part of the great yes that is existence itself. Feel how this gratitude transforms your entire being into a tuning fork that resonates with universal abundance. Know that in this moment of appreciation, you speak the true language of creation. Part 4. The Embodiment of Creation. Chapter 31. The Shape of Thought, Made Flesh. The art of manifestation flows through the language of imagination, where thought becomes the architect of experience. Beulah May Nichols understood this sacred principle during her recovery. While others saw limitation in her condition, she chose to paint different pictures in her mind. Each day she would close her eyes and feel the rhythm coursing through her limbs, seeing herself move with the grace she once knew. Her visualization wasn't mere fantasy. It was a conversation with the intelligence of her cells, a gentle reminder of their innate ability to restore and renew. The universe speaks first in images before it speaks in matter. Your imagination is not separate from reality. It is reality in its first, most subtle form. Like a sculptor who sees the finished statue within the raw stone, your inner vision carves pathways through which physical experience can flow. Wendell Roy Adkins discovered this truth during his battle with chronic fatigue. Rather than dwelling on his exhaustion, He began painting mental pictures of vitality spreading through his body like sunrise over a sleeping landscape. Each morning he would sit quietly and watch this inner dawn break across his consciousness. Within a week, his energy began rising to match the vision he held so steadily. This is the quiet alchemy of creation. Thought condensing into form, spirit sketching the blueprint that matter follows. Your body and circumstances are more fluid than they appear, more responsive to the images you hold than you might realize. They are not fixed objects, but dancing patterns of energy, waiting for your directing vision. The ancient masters knew this secret. Imagination is not escapism, but the womb of reality. When you picture an outcome with feeling and clarity, you are not dreaming idly. You are programming the quantum field. Your inner eye is a lens through which the universal mind focuses its infinite potential into specific form. Practice. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Choose one cherished thought, perhaps of wellness, harmony, or abundance. See it glowing within and around you like gentle sunlight. With each breath, feel yourself sculpting this radiance into tangible form. Let each inhale draw the vision closer. Each exhale settle it deeper into being. Maintain this creative visualization until you feel its reality in your very cells. Chapter 32. The Theater of Belief. This is the quiet alchemy of creation. Thought condensing into experience through the medium of expectation. Your body and circumstances are not fixed limitations but fluid expressions of consciousness, waiting to be reshaped by the power of focused imagination. Matilda Rose Parsons understood this divine performance art. She transformed her grocery shopping into a ceremony of abundance, treating each aisle as though it held sacred offerings. While others rushed through their errands with resignation, she moved through her day as if walking across a stage where miracles were not just possible, but inevitable. Her gratitude for simple moments became the spotlight that illuminated greater possibilities. When you treat each moment as significant, the universe responds by making it so. The ordinary transforms into extraordinary not by external change, but through the lens of your perception. Your belief writes the script that reality performs. Wilfred J. York embodied this wisdom when preparing for his first major business presentation. Instead of rehearsing anxiety, he chose to carry himself as though success was his natural state. He didn't just imagine a positive outcome. He lived from the feeling of it being accomplished. Walking into that boardroom, his certainty was so complete that reality simply aligned with his inner knowing. The contract, as he later remarked with a knowing smile, seemed to sign itself. This teaches a fundamental truth. Your physical experience follows the path laid by your deepest convictions. Like an actor who becomes the character they portray, you must embody the reality you wish to create before it manifests in tangible form. Sacred practice. Choose one ordinary task in your day. It might be preparing breakfast, walking to your car, or organizing your desk. Approach this simple activity as though you are the star performer in your own story of success. Feel the magnificence in each movement. Let your breathing be calm and assured, your posture relaxed yet confident. Move with the grace of someone who knows their every action is blessed and supported by universal forces. The mundane becomes magical when touched by the light of conscious awareness. Through this practice, you teach your body and your environment to respond to the vibration of mastery you project. Remember, every action, no matter how small, is a brushstroke on the canvas of your manifesting power. Your physical reality is simply waiting to mirror back the grandeur you express through your smallest gestures. Chapter 33. The Law of Emotional Gravity. In the still hours before dawn, Cora Lynn Phillips would sit at her kitchen window, watching worry collect like morning dew upon her thoughts. Each concern seemed to attract its twin, until her mind became heavy with accumulated fears. Yet through this very observation, she stumbled upon a profound truth about the nature of manifestation. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds not just to our thoughts, but to their energetic weight. When Cora noticed that her heaviest worries seemed to magnetize similar burdens, she began to understand the physics of consciousness. Just as objects of similar mass are drawn together by gravity, experiences of matching vibration find their way to each other through the fabric of reality. This recognition led her to a revolutionary approach. Rather than wrestling with problems, she learned to lift them with levity. When bills arrived, instead of sinking into concern, she would dance around her living room, declaring with playful certainty, "Abundance flows to me through expected and unexpected channels." The lighter her emotional response, the quicker solutions seemed to present themselves. Harvey Dean Morton discovered this same principle through an entirely different path. As a businessman facing significant challenges, he noticed that his most creative solutions arrived not during intense strategy sessions, but in moments of spontaneous laughter. During one particularly difficult quarter, rather than intensifying his worry, he began starting each meeting with a joke. The shift was remarkable. Where tension had once blocked progress, humor opened pathways to innovation. The wisdom here reveals itself with elegant simplicity. Your emotional state carries actual weight in the quantum field. Heavy feelings anchor you to matching circumstances, while lightness allows you to rise above current conditions into new possibilities. This is not merely metaphorical, it is the literal physics of manifestation. When you approach challenges with the lightness of being that comes from trust and joy, you create space for the universe to present solutions that were always there, simply vibrating at a higher frequency than your worry could perceive. Like helium lifting a balloon, laughter raises your energetic set point, allowing you to access possibilities that exist above the dense layer of concern. Your practice. When concern appears, meet it not with matching gravity, but with gentle amusement. Let a smile lift the corners of your mouth as you say, "This too is working out beautifully." Feel the weight of worry dissolve into the lightness of trust. Watch how solutions begin floating into view, no longer held down by the mass of your anxiety. The universe responds not to the intensity of your concern, but to the altitude of your joy. Chapter 34. The Rhythm of Trust. In the heart of every moment lies a hidden pulse, a sacred rhythm that orchestrates the unfolding of all creation. Rebecca June Clay discovered this truth while observing the songbirds outside her window. Each morning they would fill the air with melody, never consulting calendars or clocks, yet somehow knowing the perfect moment to begin their chorus. Through their spontaneous symphony, These winged teachers revealed a fundamental principle of universal law. Authentic manifestation flows not from rigid scheduling, but from natural alignment with divine timing. Just as birds instinctively attune to nature's rhythms, you too possess the innate ability to synchronize with the cosmic dance of creation. The universe operates not by human deadlines, but through an intricate choreography of perfect timing. When you release the need to control when and how your desires manifest, you enter into harmony with this greater orchestration. Your role is not to force the tempo, but to flow with it, allowing each moment to unfold in its ordained sequence. Patrick Glenn Rowe embodied this wisdom during a period when his most cherished plans seemed indefinitely delayed. Rather than pushing against what appeared to be obstacles, he chose to trust these pauses as integral parts of a greater arrangement. Each delay, he realized, was not a denial but a divine adjustment, ensuring all elements would align in optimal formation. When his opportunity finally arrived, he understood why earlier timing would have been premature. The path that opened before him was clear and unobstructed, every detail arranged with a precision that his earlier urgency could never have achieved. His patience had allowed the universe to compose a perfect sequence of events. This law of divine timing reminds you that manifestation is not a matter of speed, but of synchronicity. When you align your energy with the natural flow of creation, effort transforms into elegance. You need not strain to make things happen. Instead, you can move in graceful partnership with the universe's own rhythm. Just as a skilled dancer follows the music's lead, your role is to sense and respond to the subtle cues of divine timing. Trust that the universe knows the perfect moment for each blessing to materialize. Your desires are not lost in the void, but are being woven into a tapestry of perfect timing and flawless execution. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you can sit undisturbed. Allow your breath to establish its own natural rhythm. With each inhale, feel yourself drawing in divine timing. With each exhale, release any attachment to when or how your desires must manifest. Continue this gentle breathing pattern until you sense yourself settling into harmony with life's perfect beat. Trust that in this alignment, all things unfold in their destined moment of grace. Chapter 35. The Alchemy of Forgiveness. In the quiet corners of the heart, old grievances can gather like dust, blocking the natural circulation of universal energy. This truth became clear to Susie Ellen Grant, who had stored years of hurt behind carefully constructed walls of resentment. Each remembered slight, each unresolved conflict acted as an invisible barrier, preventing the full force of spiritual abundance from flowing freely through her life. The universe operates through channels of open energy. When you hold on to past hurts, you create resistance in these channels, much like rust accumulating on copper wire. Your prayers and intentions, no matter how sincere, must navigate through these corroded pathways, losing power with each obstruction they encounter. One rain-blessed afternoon, as Susie sat in her garden watching droplets cleanse the autumn leaves, something within her softened. Tears began to fall, matching nature's gentle rhythm, as she allowed herself to release the weight of accumulated grievances. With each tear, she felt a lightness return, as if channels long blocked were suddenly clearing. The shift was immediate and profound. Like a river breaking through a dam, joy rushed in to fill spaces once occupied by resentment. Her prayers, once laden with the heavy undertow of old hurts, now rose effortlessly toward the infinite. She discovered that forgiveness was not about condoning past actions, but about freeing herself from their continued influence on her present vibration. This principle found further validation through Clarence Boyd Mason's experience. After years of attributing his financial struggles to others' actions, he made a conscious choice to bless those he had previously blamed. As he released each grudge, replacing accusation with acceptance, he noticed remarkable shifts in his circumstances. Business opportunities appeared, unexpected resources emerged, and abundance began flowing through newly opened channels. The universe responds not to the words of your prayers, but to the electrical charge they carry. When resentment creates resistance in your spiritual circuitry, even the most powerful intentions struggle to manifest. But when you clear these blockages through forgiveness, cosmic energy flows uninhibited, carrying your desires swiftly toward manifestation. Sacred practice. Find a peaceful moment in your day. Bring to mind one relationship or situation where resentment still lingers. Gently repeat the words, "I free you and free myself," allowing each repetition to dissolve another layer of resistance. Continue until you feel the subtle shift of energy resuming its natural flow. Trust that in releasing others, you are releasing yourself to receive all the abundance the universe holds in store. Chapter 36. The Rebirth of the Word. In the sacred temple of morning, when dawn's first light breaks through darkness, a profound power awakens. Eleanor Fay Merritt discovered this truth as she sat at her kitchen table each sunrise, carefully choosing words that would shape her coming hours. She treated her morning declarations not as casual statements, but as sacred scripture being written into the living book of time. With each mindful phrase, she noticed the universe responding, as if her words were keys unlocking specific frequencies of experience. Where once she might have muttered, "Another difficult day ahead," she now proclaimed, "This day unfolds in perfect grace." The shift was subtle yet profound, like watching flowers slowly turn to face the sun. Your words are not merely descriptions of reality. They are the very instruments of creation. When you speak, you are not commenting on life. You are composing it. This truth reveals itself in layers, like light refracting through crystal, showing different facets of the same eternal principle. The language you choose becomes the life you live. Terence Joe Pruitt embodied this wisdom when he began consciously transforming his vocabulary of limitation. Every time the phrase "I can't" rose to his lips, he gently replaced it with "I may." This simple shift opened channels where walls once stood. Rather than declaring impossibility, he was invoking permission, and the universe responded accordingly. Ideas began flowing more freely, solutions appeared with unexpected ease, and opportunities emerged as if they had been waiting for this very signal. The lesson shimmers with clarity. Your vocabulary is not just a collection of words. It is a set of vibrations that ripple through the quantum field of possibility. Each word you speak carries its own frequency, its own creative potential. When you consciously choose words that align with expansion rather than contraction, you are literally rewriting the energetic blueprint of your experience. The universe mirrors back to you the very language you use to address it. It reads your words not as requests, but as commands, not as hopes, but as templates for manifestation. When you speak with intention, you are not describing what is. You are declaring what will be. Ancient practice for renewal. Find a quiet moment as the day begins. Close your eyes and let a fresh phrase arise in your consciousness, one that feels like the first ray of sunlight breaking through clouds. It might be as simple as, "I flow with grace," or as bold as, "Miracles surround me now." Choose words that awaken joy when you speak them. Let this phrase become your companion through the day, a living testament to your power of creation. Speak it not as affirmation, but as confirmation of what already exists in the infinite field of possibility. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. The journey of speaking to the universe is the remembrance that you are speaking to yourself in a grander octave. Every sigh, laugh, or whispered dream moves through the quantum choir and returns harmonic evidence. When you understand this, you recognize that creation is not separate from you, but is your own voice echoing back in infinite variations. The Logos, the creative principle of the universe, flows through your every thought and word. It is not something to be summoned, but rather remembered, for it has always been the essence of your being. Your consciousness is the instrument through which the infinite expresses itself. To master this art is to stand in continuous awareness that thought, word, and feeling co-create perfection with every moment. There is no gap between intention and manifestation, only varying degrees of clarity in your transmission. What once appeared as magic is simply language fluently spoken, the natural conversation between consciousness and form. The universe has never denied anyone. It only amplifies their dominant tone. Like a perfect mirror, it reflects back precisely what you project, not just in words, but in the feeling tone that accompanies them. Your emotional signature is the real broadcast that creation responds to. Therefore, speak softly but steadily from joy. Choose descriptions that make your heart rise, and live as the utterance of love that you truly are. Let your words be chosen with the awareness that they are seeds planted in fertile cosmic soil. Each thought you think, each word you speak, is a note in the universal symphony. Creation listens, smiles, and answers with more of the same melody. It cannot help but respond in kind, for this is the law of resonance that governs all manifestation.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.